Hey guys, coming to you today with a TRD Basic how-to video. I hope you enjoy.
Yeah. So Hunter this year has cashed a check in 3 consecutive VFLs out of the back of the boat. Fishing this stupid little rig right here.
All it is this thing right here. Basically just a half bitten off Cinco.
Yeah.
But the key is on the Z-Man, the Z-Man company, you can do this with them. You can't break them. So you can fish this sucker about, 30 fish to one bait. Key is, I use the heaviest weight, like his rule, the smallest weight, but I use the heaviest weight they come with. To fish it, I fish it around rocks. You can't really fish it in grass because it's exposed, but I do have weed guards on them. But the key is to fish them around rocks and ponds. You can find like their little rock banks or whatever. Fish that little dude right there and you'll catch a lot of fish. Brim, catfish, crappie. Me and Jeremy had a St. Jude Bass Classic tournament this past weekend, and I caught them on some crappie that were 2-pound crappie on this little thing right here. So we had dinner. So, but anyways, on Pickwick, what I like to find if y'all ever fish Pickwick is the bluff wall banks. Bluff wall banks, this little dude right here will produce a lot of fish. What you want to do if you're in a boat, you want to fish kind of almost parallel to the bluff walls. But what you want to do is you want to cast as far as you can and just work it basically almost like a worm. But this is how you kind of work it. You throw it out, you let it sink on a slack line, because what it does when it's on a slack line, it just kind of does this when it goes down. And on that Z-Man, they float. They're really durable. They float real high. So when you throw it out there next to the bluff walls, you let it sink, and you just work it like this. My rod tip's doing this right here. You don't do that to it. You just kind of work it just like that. We're barely going to see that. I mean, that's all you got to do. It's really a good technique for winter, but yeah, it's basically half the Cinco.
That's punching my boat over it.
There you go.
There you go.
And David sells a PT stick as well.
I sell a 3-inch version. It's basically the same thing. And I fish mine very similar to the way Hunter fishes his. But I call it driving, because this is all I do. Whip it out there. I fish a lot of gravel banks on Kentucky Lake and places like that with it. And all I do is I get my rod tip right there and I drive it. I just sit here and reel it. I always want to be feeling it going doop, 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 doop. You just feel it coming down that gravel. If you quit feeling the gravel, stop. Let it settle back down on the bottom. And that's all. And then when you feel a fish grab it, you don't even set the hook. You just pull your rod tip up and reel. That's all you got to do. It's really, for kids, this is the perfect bait. I mean, other than it will hang up some. But you just want to throw it out, bring it back in, just reel it as slow as you can, keeping your line tight, keep it right at this level. When you get the bite, you pull up and continue to reel.
It's the most simple looking thing.
So they do hang up a lot. So that is one problem with them.
They do.
You will go through a few of them.
Yeah. 3 packs, a couple packs. Oh yeah.
Are you fishing on a fluorocarbon mostly?
Yeah, I'm about to talk about the water.
Could you, you're in an area that's got a lot of cover that you want to fish, you want to downsize to something like that, could you look it on the hook and how I fish it?
You can. A lot of guys also fish in Carolina rigs. They come in at what, a 6-inch?
Yeah, they come in 4.
They come in a 4-inch, 4 to 6 inch. Because they float. You use a lighter leader on your Carolina rig, and it makes it, float up right into that strike zone. But the key is, I've seen a lot of people try to throw this thing, and they can't because of the line diameter you throw with it. What I throw is 10-pound braid, which is 4-pound, the line diameter. That's how thick it is, 4 pounds. The key is I use Now this leader, I fished this yesterday at Pickwick, and that's one of the pictures I'm passing around. That big picture, that's what I caught yesterday at Pickwick on this rig. Yes, I have a 10-pound braid and a 14-pound leader fluorocarbon. 14-pound leader makes it also fall a little slower, but when I catch that big fish,
Your way to get hooked.
yeah. When you catch that big fish, you have that, you know, that good line strength right here to find them in. It won't fray your line as bad. Now the knot I use to the braid, the fluoro, is a double uni knot. Now the double uni knot allows this line through the braid, through these little eyelets very easily. Now I can cast this sucker 50, 60 yards on one cast, and that's what I did behind the guys that I fished, you know, with on the FLW, and they're pretty still mad about me about that. I could cast literally 20 more yards than they could on their bait cast and stuff, and I would work my bait behind them and catch a fish every time. So that's basically the Ned rig. I always have this tied on every time I go out. All those fish that you see in those pictures were all caught on this deal right here.
I think it's all 100 fishes with nowadays.
It is. Because I've won some money on it, so I can't put it down. But that's basically the Ned rig, how it's set up. Now I use a smaller reel, not real giant. My the action on the rod is going to be 6'11" medium. You want a tip on this little dude that has a tip like that. A lot of backbone, so when you hit those, you know, big largemouth and ponds and smallmouth, you want that tip and that backbone to get them in, but you want that tip so when they're fighting, because when the fish bites this, they will try to jump it out. They'll jump out and they'll just try to just throw it because they don't know what the heck this thing is. And a lot of people around ponds and Pickwick and lakes like that, they don't know of this. The bass don't know of it yet. It's a new technique that just kind of came out in a way. So a lot of the bass, the older bass, the big bass, they don't know about this thing yet. So they're like, all right, I'm going to take a piece of this thing. And so this is a good technique to use it right now. Lou Williams, who's a Pickwick poor guy, he got a hold of it and he's telling the world about it. So
it is getting very well known very quickly.
Exactly. So
I think the last Pickwick tournament, 6 out of the top 10 guys were throwing that bait.
Yep, and I got 11th, I think, that tournament. So, but that's the rod you need to use. That setup, 10-pound braid is the absolute. You have to do that. If you throw a 30-pound braid, you're not going to throw it fast. You're not going to throw it far. It's not going to sink the way it should be. And I use a 1/5 ounce head. That's the biggest head Z-Man makes, and then David sells big heads for that too. And they all is in the shop, by the way, too. If you want to pick some of these up. 1/5 ounce. Yes, it's the biggest one you can get. Now they make a longer one, so with a longer hook, which you can throw. I really throw anything on it. You can throw bush pigs on them. You can throw a worm on it. I mean, you can throw anything.
Yeah.
So, but these hooks, they're not very stout. I mean, I can sit here and look. I just bit it open. So you got to use very light line on this kind of stuff. Very light action, because you will kind of throw it. But yeah, that's what the Ned rig is in a nutshell.
You may have said, but what pound fluoro are you using on
Yeah,
that?
I use 14 pounds.
14 fluoro?
Yeah, so it's like totally not the same thing. Like the braid's way thinner than the fluoro, but I've fished with 10-pound fluoro before on it, and it breaks them off for some reason. I guess because the bass are just, their teeth are hitting this line, and this is too much. But 14-pound fluoro is the way to go. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
What'd you call that rig?
I call it the turd because that's what it's called, the real deal.
Real deal.
But I went on stage on the FLW weigh-in and they said, "What'd you catch him on?" I said, "The turd." And they looked at me like, "What the heck?"
Z-Man calls it the TRD.
But it's short for turd. So,
Short form.
I throw the turd on ponds and stuff like that.
You will catch fish on it.
You will catch fish
I think
on it.
catches fish everywhere I've ever been so far.
Exactly. You'll catch brim, anything you want. Thank you, guys.